Ladies and gentlemen, let's tell the truth that most people are too afraid to say out loud. Love should not destroy you. It should not leave you questioning your worth, walking on emotional eggshells, or apologizing for having feelings. You've been told that love is supposed to be hard, that if it's real, you'll fight for it, even if it costs your peace, your sanity, or your sense of self. But what if I told you that kind of love isn't love at all? It's emotional chaos disguised as connection. We live in a world that romanticizes struggle, celebrates suffering in silence, and labels pain as passion. But love isn't supposed to break you down. It's supposed to build you. It's supposed to be your safest place, not your most confusing battlefield. And if the person who says they love you is also the reason your mental health is crumbling, you're not in love. You're in survival mode. This is your wake-up call. Real love feels like peace. Real love respects your mind, honors your heart, and supports your healing. It doesn't punish you for being human. It doesn't manipulate your emotions. And today we're going to talk about how to finally recognize the difference. Real love supports emotional safety, not emotional instability. That might sound obvious on paper, but in practice it's one of the hardest truths to accept, especially when your heart is tied to someone who doesn't know how to love you well. The human brain will rationalize chaos when it comes wrapped in affection. It will excuse inconsistency when it's paired with intense connection. You will convince yourself that the anxiety is normal, that the silence means you did something wrong, that their lack of presence is something you have to earn back. But love, true, grounded, unwavering love, is not supposed to feel like a guessing game. It's not supposed to destabilize your mind while pretending to protect your heart. Emotional safety is not a luxury in love. It is the foundation. You cannot grow where you don't feel safe. You cannot be your full self when you are constantly scanning for signs that you're too much, too emotional, too needy, too sensitive. You cannot thrive in a relationship where your nervous system is in a constant state of tension. Bracing for the next argument, the next emotional withdrawal, the next wave of confusion that comes after a moment of sweetness, that is not safety, that is survival. And the truth is, so many people are surviving love instead of living in it. It doesn't matter how attractive they are. It doesn't matter how deep the conversations can get when things are good. It doesn't matter how many sweet texts they send after disappearing for days. What matters is how you feel most of the time. Not the highlight reels, not the peak moments, not the butterflies that come in short bursts, but the day-to-day emotional climate of the relationship. Do you feel calm? Do you feel heard? Do you feel respected? Can you bring up your fears without being shut down? Can you express your needs without feeling guilty? If the answer is no, then you are not in a safe emotional space, no matter how loudly the word love is thrown around. Emotional safety is the space where you can breathe deeply. It's the freedom to be vulnerable without being punished. It's knowing that your feelings won't be used against you later. It's being able to say, "This hurt me," without the conversation turning into a war zone. It's a partner who leans in when you're hurting, not one who pulls away or uses your pain as a weapon. It's the absence of fear when you speak your truth, and it is the presence of consistency even when life gets chaotic. Love that lacks emotional safety becomes emotional instability. You start questioning your own thoughts. You replay conversations in your head over and over, trying to figure out where you went wrong. You keep the peace instead of speaking your truth, because every time you open your mouth, it turns into something bigger than it needs to be. You stop asking for your needs to be met because it's easier to just deal with disappointment than to feel like a bird. That's not love. That's you abandoning yourself so someone else doesn't have to be uncomfortable. That's emotional instability dressed up as connection. People often confuse emotional intensity for intimacy, but real intimacy is built through trust, through presence, through the day in, day out showing up. Real love doesn't depend on drama to stay alive. It doesn't require chaos to feel passionate. In fact, the healthiest relationships often feel the most boring to people who are addicted to emotional highs and lows. Why? Because consistency feels unfamiliar. Peace feels foreign. Safety feels like something must be missing. But that's just your nervous system adjusting to something healthy. It's detoxing from emotional instability and learning to regulate around calm, connection, and care. It's not your job to explain this to someone over and over why they keep crossing your boundaries. You're not asking for too much when you ask for emotional safety. You're asking for the bare minimum. A person who loves you well will want you to feel safe. They will want to understand your emotional landscape, not manipulate it. They will create space for you to bring all of yourself, not just the parts that are convenient, quiet, or easy to handle. You deserve to be with someone who doesn't make your healing harder. You deserve to be with someone who protects your peace, not steals it. And if that's not what you're experiencing, if the person in front of you doesn't respect your emotional well-being, if they make you question your reality, if you feel more anxious than grounded, then the most loving thing you can do is love yourself enough to walk away. Staying with someone who makes you emotionally unstable is a form of self-abandonment. And no matter how much love you give them, it will never make them safe if they aren't willing to grow. You can't fix that. You can't heal in the same place that's hurting you. You can't find peace in a person who lives in chaos. Real love supports emotional safety. It is not a roller coaster. It is not a war zone. It is not a maze you have to figure out. It is a sanctuary. It is where your heart goes to rest, not to recover from another emotional blow. And the more you anchor into your worth, the more you will realize you don't have to fight to be loved. You don't have to shrink to keep someone. You don't have to sacrifice your mental health to say you have someone. Because when it's real, love feels like freedom, and freedom never feels like fear. Love should not come at the cost of your mental peace. Yet so many people are living with chaos in their relationships and calling it love. They're living in a state of emotional exhaustion and labeling it commitment. They're constantly sacrificing their inner calm just to keep someone else comfortable. But here's the truth. If being in love means losing your mind, doubting yourself daily, crying more than you smile, or questioning your reality, that's not love. That's emotional warfare. Love, real love, will never ask you to destroy yourself just to keep it alive. The peace you feel when you're alone should never be greater than the peace you feel when you're with someone who claims to love you. Relationships are supposed to add to your life, not drain the life out of you. So why do so many of us stay in connections that cost us our emotional well-being? Because we've been conditioned to believe that love is sacrifice, even if the sacrifice is our sanity. We've been told that we have to compromise, but no one explained that compromising your mental peace is the same as slowly disconnecting from your truth, and you don't need to lose yourself just to be with someone else. It starts subtly. You stop speaking up because every time you do, it turns into a fight. You start hiding your anxiety because you're afraid they'll call you too emotional. You minimize your needs, silence your voice, ignore your instincts, all in the name of keeping the peace. But that's not peace, that's suppression, that's self-betrayal. And over time, that suppression becomes stress, that stress becomes anxiety, and that anxiety turns into a constant mental spiral that convinces you it's your fault for not being chill enough to make the relationship work. But let me tell you this, you're not too much. You're not asking for too much, you're asking for the peace you deserve. Because the right love will never make you feel like you need to perform to be accepted. It will never turn your mental health into a battleground. It will never punish you for being human. The right love will meet you where you are, hold space for what you feel, and make you feel safe enough to exhale. If you feel like you're constantly bracing for impact in your relationship, that's not safety, it's survival mode, and your peace is too high a price to pay for someone else's inability to meet you with presence and maturity. People often confuse emotional stimulation for love. They believe the roller coaster of highs and lows is passion, but peace can be passionate. Love can be steady and still be deep. The most powerful relationships are not the loudest ones, not the most dramatic ones, not the ones that drain you and call it intensity. The most powerful love feels calm, feels stable, feels quiet in the best possible way. It's like the sound of your own breath after you've been underwater for too long. It's a sense of, I'm finally safe to be me after years of feeling like you had to earn love by sacrificing your emotional truth. Your mental health is not a liability. It's not something you should have to hide or downplay in order to be loved. It's part of who you are. And the right person will never see your emotional depth as a burden. They'll see it as a doorway into understanding you. They'll ask questions, not avoid them. They'll stay curious instead of shutting you down. They'll sit with your silence, not shame you for not getting over it. They'll know that real intimacy is built in the moments when you feel seen, even when you're not at your best. Love that hurts your mental peace isn't love, it's a lesson. And sometimes the lesson is learning when to walk away before you lose yourself completely. You were not born to tolerate emotional instability. You were not created to carry the emotional weight of another person while yours gets dismissed. Your mind deserves clarity. Your soul deserves rest. You deserve a relationship that doesn't require you to be in constant emotional defense mode. If you find yourself always justifying their behavior, always feeling like you're the one who has to fix things, always on edge about the next blow up, you're not in love. You're in a cycle, and cycles don't stop until you do. The most powerful thing you can do for your peace is to protect it. That might mean walking away from someone you deeply care about but who continues to damage your mental health. That might mean saying no to patterns that feel familiar but are actually harmful. That might mean spending time alone to recalibrate your mind so you can remember what calm feels like. Because once you taste peace, the chaos no longer feels like love, it feels like poison. And the more you prioritize your peace, the clearer it becomes who truly loves you versus who just wants to keep you emotionally dependent on their version of love. Love should never feel like a weight on your chest. It should feel like a hand on your back, steadying you when life gets heavy. It should never feel like a fog in your mind. It should feel like clarity, like alignment, like exhaling into truth. You deserve to wake up in the morning and not feel emotionally drained before the day even begins. You deserve to be with someone who makes your mind feel like a safe place to live in. Because when it's real, love brings peace, and peace is the most powerful kind of love there is. Gaslighting, manipulation, and control are not love languages. These toxic behaviors have somehow found their way into so many relationships, disguised as affection, desire, or passion. The truth is, if love is making you question your reality, if it's forcing you to doubt your instincts, or if you find yourself apologizing for things you never did, what you're experiencing isn't love at all. It's manipulation, it's control, and it's a direct assault on your mental well-being. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious forms of emotional abuse because it distorts your reality. It makes you feel like you're crazy for trusting your own feelings, thoughts, or experiences. A gaslighter will twist your words, deny things they've done, and make you question your sanity in order to maintain power and control in the relationship. But love is not about control, it's about freedom. Love does not need to twist your perception of the world or make you doubt your own mind. It needs to support your reality, help you grow and lift you to a better version of yourself, not break you down so that you can't tell what's real anymore. If someone truly loves you, they will never manipulate your thoughts. They will never make you feel like you're the one at fault when they are the ones causing harm. They will listen to you with the intent to understand, not to twist the narrative in their favor. Real love doesn't require you to defend your basic needs or apologize for speaking up. Real love supports you in your truth and makes room for your voice to be heard. If your partner makes you question everything you know to be true, whether it's your memories, your beliefs, or even your worth, then you are not experiencing love. You are experiencing a toxic cycle designed to undermine your confidence and autonomy. Manipulation can come in many forms, whether it's guilt-tripping you into doing things you don't want to do, pretending to be a victim to avoid responsibility, or playing on your emotions to get what they want. Love doesn't play games. It doesn't use your vulnerability against you. When someone loves you, they respect your boundaries, they respect your space, and they respect your needs. They do not manipulate or pressure you into acting in ways that make you uncomfortable. They encourage you to make your own decisions, knowing that real love is about respect, not control. If you find yourself always compromising your values or your boundaries just to keep the peace or keep someone happy, then that's not love. It's control disguised as affection. Control in relationships comes in many shapes and forms as well. It might look like monitoring your every move, dictating who you can hang out with, or attempting to isolate you from your friends and family. A controlling partner will always try to limit your freedom, convince you that they are the only one who truly cares for you, and make you feel like you can't function without them. But real love isn't about dependency, it's about partnership. It's about two whole people coming together to share their lives, to support each other's dreams, and to encourage each other to grow individually and together. A healthy relationship will empower you to be your best self, not force you into a mold that benefits only one person. When someone truly loves you, they will celebrate your independence, not try to suppress it. They will encourage you to pursue your passions, to stand up for yourself, and to chase your goals with confidence. They will be there as a supportive partner, not as a dictator. They will respect your journey, even if it's different from theirs, and they will love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. This level of love doesn't involve manipulation or control. It involves trust, support, and mutual respect. The moment you realize that someone is trying to control you, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically, is the moment you must step back and reassess what you're truly experiencing. Control in any form is not love. It's a toxic dynamic that can strip away your sense of self, your autonomy, and your ability to make healthy decisions. If your relationship is making you feel trapped, confined, or diminished, then it's not love. It's a power struggle that has nothing to do with genuine affection or care. True love is about freedom. Freedom to be yourself, freedom to make mistakes, freedom to change, and freedom to grow. It's about having space to be who you are and not fear rejection when you show up authentically. It's about vulnerability without the fear of being judged or punished for your feelings. In real love, you will never feel like you're walking on eggshells, second-guessing every word you say or questioning every... That's not intimacy, that's insecurity. That's not affection, that's manipulation. That's not connection, that's control. Gaslighting, manipulation, and control are tools used to create emotional instability. They are used to make you feel small, weak, and dependent on someone who is anything but loving. They are used to destabilize your mind and keep you in a constant state of confusion so that you don't realize you deserve better. But once you wake up to the truth, once you realize that love isn't about having the power to make someone feel less than, once you realize that true love is built on trust, communication, and mutual respect, you can walk away from anything that diminishes your worth and prevents you from being your fullest self. You deserve a love that doesn't need to control you. You deserve a love that lifts you up. You deserve a love that recognizes your value and treats you as an equal, not as someone who needs to be fixed or manipulated. You deserve a love that allows you to be free, to be your full, authentic self without fear of judgment or abuse. And the moment you recognize that anything less than that is not love, you will start making decisions that protect your peace, your mind, and your heart. In a healthy relationship, your emotional needs should never be treated as an inconvenience. They should not be ignored, minimized, or dismissed. Your feelings are valid and deserve to be acknowledged, understood, and respected. When you're in a relationship with someone who truly loves you, they don't see your emotional needs as burdens. They see them as part of what makes you who you are. They understand that your emotional landscape is just as important as your physical needs, your intellectual needs, and your social needs. And they honor it, they listen, they are present. Yet so many people in unhealthy relationships find themselves constantly questioning whether their emotional needs are too much. They suppress their feelings in an attempt to avoid burdening their partner. They hide their pain because they fear their partner will be annoyed, upset, or defensive. This is a toxic cycle that erodes your sense of self-worth because when your emotional needs are dismissed or neglected, you start to believe that you're not worth being heard or cared for. You may even start to internalize the belief that you're too much or that your feelings are unreasonable. But the truth is that you are worthy of a partner who sees your emotional needs as valid and worthy of attention. You are not too much. Your emotions are not a burden. They are a natural, beautiful part of being human. Being in a relationship where your emotional needs are acknowledged doesn't mean that your partner has to solve every problem or fix every issue. It simply means they are willing to hold space for you. They are willing to listen without judgment, without minimizing your experience, and without deflecting or making excuses. They are present in your emotional world and they make you feel like your feelings matter. It's about being emotionally available for each other. It's about showing empathy when the other person is hurting. It's about creating a safe space where both partners can freely express themselves without fear of criticism or rejection. Unfortunately, in many relationships, emotional needs are not only dismissed, they're actively belittled. A partner may call you too sensitive when you express your feelings or tell you to calm down when you're upset. They may invalidate your emotions by saying things like, you're overreacting or it's not a big deal. These dismissive behaviors create an environment where your feelings are constantly questioned and it becomes difficult to trust your own emotional response. You begin to believe that your emotions are unimportant or irrational, which makes it harder for you to express yourself honestly and openly, over time, this emotional neglect erodes your sense of self-worth and leaves you feeling unheard and unseen. The truth is, no feeling is too much. Every emotion you experience is an expression of your internal world, a reflection of your desires, your values, and your fears. Emotions are not inherently negative or positive. They are simply signals that tell you something about your needs and your boundaries. When your partner dismisses or invalidates your emotions, they are not only denying your experience, they are also failing to recognize the opportunity to connect with you on a deeper level. Emotional validation is one of the most powerful ways to build intimacy in a relationship. When you validate someone's feelings, you show them that you care, that you're listening, and that you understand their emotional world. It creates trust, safety, and connection. Being emotionally available means being willing to show up for each other, not just when things are easy, but especially when things are difficult. It's about being there during the tough conversations, the raw moments of vulnerability, and the times when your partner needs to lean on you for support. It's not about fixing everything, it's about being a steady presence, offering love and compassion without trying to fix the situation or tell your partner what they should feel. Your partner's emotions are not something to be solved, they are something to be experienced together. The key is empathy, understanding that your partner's emotions are valid, even if you don't fully understand or agree with them, and being willing to sit with them in their discomfort instead of trying to make it better right away. When you are emotionally available, you are willing to be vulnerable and share your own feelings as well. Healthy relationships are a two-way street where both partners are equally invested in creating emotional safety. It's not about one person carrying all the emotional weight. It's about sharing the load. When both partners are emotionally available, it creates an environment where both people feel seen, heard, and valued. It allows each person to be their authentic self without fear of judgment or rejection. This kind of emotional availability is not something that should be taken for granted. It's something that requires effort, vulnerability, and intentionality. It requires both partners to be willing to be emotionally open, to listen without judgment, and to validate each other's experiences. And it requires a commitment to showing up for each other even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. Emotional availability is the foundation of a strong, healthy relationship. It's the glue that holds everything together. If your emotional needs are consistently ignored or dismissed in a relationship, it's a red flag that the relationship is not serving your highest good. No matter how much love or affection your partner shows in other ways, if they fail to honor your emotional needs, they are not meeting your basic needs for connection and understanding. In a healthy relationship, emotional needs are met with care, compassion, and respect. If you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, if you feel like you're constantly suppressing your emotions to avoid conflict, or if you feel like your feelings are never acknowledged, it's time to reconsider whether this relationship is truly meeting your needs. Love should make you feel safe, seen, and supported. It should never make you feel small or insignificant. Your emotional needs are not a burden. They are a testament to your humanity, your depth, and your capacity to connect. The right partner will see this and honor it. They will cherish the way you feel because they understand that your feelings are an integral part of who you are. And they will never ask you to silence your emotions just to keep the peace. True love is about being fully present for each other, emotionally, mentally, and physically. It's about meeting each other's needs, not ignoring them. It's about creating a relationship where both partners feel safe enough to show up authentically, knowing that their feelings will be heard and valued. If you're not experiencing this level of emotional availability in your relationship, then you deserve better. You deserve a love that fully acknowledges, respects, and cherishes your emotional needs. True love is about building each other up, not tearing each other down. It is rooted in respect, trust, and mutual support, which means that real love will never make you feel inferior, inadequate, or unworthy of happiness. It will never make you doubt your abilities or question your worth. A healthy, loving relationship is one in which both people grow together, encouraging each other to be the best version of themselves. If you find yourself in a relationship where your self-esteem is constantly under attack, or you feel belittled, disrespected, or diminished in any way, that is a sign that the relationship is not serving your highest good. A loving relationship should help you become stronger, more confident, and more resilient. It should inspire you to pursue your passions and dreams, knowing that your partner will support and encourage you every step of the way. Love isn't about tearing each other down in the name of tough love or criticism. It's about providing the space for both people to flourish, to evolve and to thrive, both individually and together. A partner who truly loves you will uplift you, remind you of your potential, and help you overcome obstacles without making you feel like you're not enough. If someone loves you, they will never make you feel small. They will make you feel capable of conquering the world. Unfortunately, many people find themselves in relationships where their self-esteem is constantly chipped away. It could be subtle, like passive-aggressive remarks, sarcasm, or backhanded compliments, or more overt, such as outright insults, put-downs, or demeaning behavior. These actions may come disguised as jokes or constructive criticism, but they are nothing more than tactics to diminish your self-worth and keep you in a state of insecurity. This kind of behavior is toxic because it undermines your confidence, making you doubt your abilities and feel less than what you are. And when your self-esteem is diminished, it becomes harder to assert your needs, stand up for yourself, or even recognize that you deserve better. True love builds you up by reminding you of your worth, your talents, and your inner strength. It doesn't seek to change you or make you fit into a mold that someone else has created. It encourages you to remain authentic, to honor your values, and to pursue what makes you happy. If you find yourself in a relationship where your dreams are dismissed, where your ambitions are ridiculed, or where your self-worth is continually questioned, it's important to recognize that this is not love, it's emotional abuse. No one should make you feel like you're less than you are or tell you that your dreams are unrealistic or unattainable. A loving partner will recognize your potential even when you can't see it for yourself. They will celebrate your achievements, both big and small, and encourage you to keep moving forward even when things get tough. They won't put you down or belittle your efforts, but instead they will lift you up, remind you of how far you've come, and help you get back on track when you face setbacks. Real love will help you grow by providing constructive feedback in a respectful, loving manner, not by tearing you down and making you feel incapable. It will help you improve without making you feel worthless or inadequate. Self-esteem is foundational to a person's well-being, and when you are in a relationship that consistently damages your self-esteem, it can have far-reaching consequences. It can affect how you see yourself, how you interact with others, and how you approach life in general. It can even impact your mental health, leading to feelings of anxiety, depression, and isolation. When your partner constantly puts you down or invalidates your thoughts and feelings, you begin to internalize those negative messages and start to believe that you're not good enough. Over time, you may even lose sight of who you really are and what you are truly capable of. But when you are in a relationship that honors your worth, your confidence begins to grow. You start to believe in yourself again. You take risks, pursue your passions, and step into your full potential without the fear of judgment or rejection. A partner who truly loves you will make you feel like you can take on the world. They will remind you that you are strong, capable, and deserving of all the good things that life has to offer. They will believe in you even when you doubt yourself. This type of unconditional love fosters a deep sense of security, helping you to feel supported and safe as you navigate the ups and downs of life. But it's important to note that real love also involves encouraging growth in both individuals. In any healthy relationship, both partners should be motivated to improve themselves and their lives. True love doesn't keep you stagnant or force you to remain in a comfort zone. It inspires you to take risks, pursue your goals, and become a better version of yourself. This growth can be personal, professional, or even spiritual. A loving partner will support your evolution and encourage you to reach your fullest potential. They won't hold you back out of fear or insecurity, but instead they will cheer you on and help you break through any barriers that might stand in your way. Love is about building each other up in ways that help both partners thrive. It's about encouraging each other to dream bigger, to aim higher, and to push past the limits that life might place in front of you. It's not about creating an environment of competition or comparison, but rather one of mutual respect and admiration. In a loving relationship, both people should feel empowered to chase their dreams, explore their passions, and evolve into the best versions of themselves. The right partner will never hold you back. They will always encourage you to fly higher, to reach further, and to become everything you're capable of becoming. In conclusion, when love is genuine, it will always build you up. It will make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated for who you are. It will encourage your growth and development, and it will never seek to diminish your worth. If you find yourself in a relationship where you are constantly belittled, criticized, or made to feel small, it's time to reassess your worth. You deserve better. You deserve a love that empowers you, supports you, and helps you become the best version of yourself. Don't settle for anything less than a love that will build you up, not tear you down. Real love will always recognize your value and help you rise to the highest version of yourself.